My child, listen carefully, because this is not just a word of comfort. It's a call for your heart to awaken. Once again, you've carried a promise in your chest like someone who guards a seed without seeing any signs of it sprouting. Days, months, even years have passed, and you're beginning to wonder if it was truly I who spoke, if that hope was genuine, or just a product of your own desire. But today I come to remind you, what I planted in your spirit was not an illusion. It was prophecy. It was truth. It was destiny. It was an eternal purpose. That promise has not been forgotten. It hasn't been invalidated by your mistakes or cancelled by life's delays. What I said still stands because my word does not fall to the ground like dust in the wind. It remains firm even when your tired eyes can no longer see, even when pain rises like a giant trying to convince you that I've gone silent forever, even when you look around and everything seems stuck, paralyzed, as if time had frozen your dreams. But listen, time has no power over what I have established. I am the Lord of time, and the promise I made to you is still in motion. Even if the heavens seem silent, your heart has asked, will it still happen? Is there still something reserved for me? Did I already lose my chance? And I respond, it still stands. The timing of the promise does not depend on your strength, your effort, or your ability to foresee the future. The timing of the promise is aligned with my eternal plan. And when I say now, nothing can stop it. No wall remains standing. No giant stays in the way. No door remains closed. But before fulfillment comes preparation, and this is where many give up, this is where many abandon their faith. It's in that space between the released word and the fulfilled promise that many get lost, get frustrated, grow bitter. But you, my child, were not called to give up. You were set apart to endure until the end, because man's end is the beginning of a miracle. The end of your strength is the beginning of my manifestation. You were not chosen to watch others live the promise. You were set apart to live what eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, and what no heart has imagined. But for that, you need to trust my perfect timing. Do you know why it hurts? Because your soul wants to control what only I can control. Because your spirit is restless in a process that demands patience. You want to see quickly, touch quickly, tell the testimony already. But I do not work with anxiety, I work with purpose. And purpose requires waiting, maturity, surrender. It requires that you let go of your timeline to live what I have written in my book. The promise I gave you is not small. It involves other lives, other situations, other times, and everything must be ready. The blessing is not just an answer, it's a responsibility. And many desire the fulfillment, but they are not prepared to bear the weight of the promise. That's why I allow time, because time reveals, heals, corrects, cleanses, adjusts. It is in time that the clay is shaped. It is in time that the gold is purified. It is in time that the weak become strong. It is in time that faith grows, even in the midst of pain. So do not despise the time. It is your ally, not your enemy. My child, you are walking through a valley now, and you think everything is at a standstill, but what you call silence, I call construction. While you cry, I work. While you pray, I move pieces. While you think of giving up, I already see your arrival. I am the God who does not fail. I am the God who acts. Even when you don't perceive it, I am the God who works behind the curtain. And everything is being aligned. Everything is being prepared. What looks like delay is fertile ground. What looks like waiting is strategy. What looks like postponement is precision. There is no delay in me, there is no disorder in my plan. What I promised, I will fulfill. It is not about your perfection, it is about my faithfulness. It is not about your worthiness, it is about my character. And my character is unchanging. I do not change, I do not regret, I do not go back. The promise is alive, alive like your breath, alive like your hope, alive like your calling. Do you remember Joseph? He dreamed big but was thrown into a pit, betrayed by his brothers, forgotten in prison, treated unjustly. But the promise did not die, because he who carries a promise can walk through the desert but will not die in it. He may be forgotten by men, but he is remembered by God. And when the appointed time came, Joseph went from prison directly to the throne, because when the right time arrives, the change is sudden. It's like a key turning. It's like a light turning on in the darkness. You think everything will be gradual, but I am the God who surprises. I am the God who does in one day what man cannot do in years. And so it will be with you. I will fulfill it. Because there is a promise over your life, and it doesn't depend on applause or human recognition or easy paths. It only depends on my will. And my will is good, perfect, and pleasing. My will is that you live everything I have prepared for you. So do not fear. You are going through trials right now, and they want to make you doubt. Internal struggles, opposing voices, difficult people around you, circumstances that seem to mock your faith. But all of this is not a sign of defeat, it is a sign of war. And there is only war where there is something precious. If the darkness is rising, it's because it fears what is about to happen. If the enemy tries to stop you, it's because he knows the promise is too great to be ignored. So resist, pray more, believe more, stand firm, because heaven is moving. And your faithfulness will be remembered when I open the heavens over you. I know your effort. I see your sacrifices. I hear your unanswered prayers. And I want you to know everything is recorded before me. You didn't pray in vain. You didn't cry in vain. You didn't fast in vain. Everything is being counted. Everything is being added up. And the harvest is coming in the appointed time. And when that time comes, you won't just see a wish fulfilled. You'll see the fulfillment of a plan. A plan that includes your healing, your restoration, your home, your dreams, your mission. You were formed to accomplish something no one else can. The promise is yours. The word is yours. And it will be fulfilled, because I am faithful to finish what I began. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared like clay in the potter's hands. I am shaping your structure, because the glory that will be revealed is heavy. And only those who have been broken and reformed can carry the glory. Only those who endured scarcity with faith experience fullness. Only those who buried the old can live the new. And you are in that process now. A painful process, yes, but a necessary one, because your story will become a testimony. Your voice will become an answer. Your walk will become an inspiration. My child, don't get lost in comparisons. Don't look at others thinking they're ahead and you're behind. Every promise has a time. Every story has a rhythm. Every seed has a harvest season. And what is yours will not be given to another. What I set apart for you, no one can take. What I released over your life, no one can steal. It may seem like everything is still, but there is movement. It may seem like you are alone, but there are angels around you. It may seem like the end, but it is the beginning, because I am with you. And where I am, the impossible happens. Where I am, the dry land becomes a spring. Where I am, even the dead come back to life, and your promise lives, your promise breathes, your promise is about to be born. So just wait with faith, wait with hope, wait with courage, because in the perfect time I will bring it to pass. And no one will be able to say it was luck. Everyone will see it was a promise, it was a plan, it was fulfillment, it was victory. And your name will be remembered as one who trusted until the end. And now, my child, as you carry these words within you, I want you to do something most people forget to do in the middle of the journey. Look at where I've already brought you from. Think of the nights when fear almost swallowed you, and yet you woke up the next morning still breathing, still fighting, still holding on. That wasn't coincidence, that was my hand beneath you. You didn't see it, but I was there, catching every fall, redirecting every detour, guarding you when you weren't even aware you were in danger. You may not see how much you've grown, but I do. I see how your responses are not the same as before. I see how your heart has learned to pause before reacting, how your trust has matured even while your questions have multiplied. Growth isn't always loud, it's often quiet, hidden in the roots, like a tree growing deeper before it grows taller. I want you to understand this. There are lessons I've allowed you to learn that will protect you later. They may seem unnecessary now. You might wonder why you had to face certain betrayals, why people changed on you without explanation. But later, when the promise manifests and your influence increases, you will recognize those wounds as shields, reminders to walk with discernment, to love without naivety, to lead without pride. There are people assigned to your future who are still being molded too. You're not the only one in process. Some of them are not ready to walk with you yet. Some of them would misunderstand your purpose right now if I brought them too early. That's why timing matters, not just for you, but for the whole tapestry I'm weaving. And some of the delays, my child, have been my protection disguised as disappointment. If you'd gotten what you asked for when you wanted it, it would have pulled you away from me. You don't realize how many open doors were actually traps. You prayed for opportunity, and I gave you silence, because what you called opportunity I saw as a detour from your true calling. I've seen your frustration when your name wasn't called, when you weren't chosen, when others seemed to rise while you remained unseen. But listen carefully. Obscurity is not rejection. It's refinement. If your character cannot sustain the weight of the platform, the very blessing you long for could crush you. Oh, I'm not preparing a stage. I'm preparing a foundation. Even the tears you've cried in private are part of this process. Each tear has watered something sacred in you: humility, empathy, hunger for me. You wouldn't be able to carry what's coming if you hadn't felt what it's like to walk alone, misunderstood and unseen. That pain carved depth in you, and depth is required for lasting impact. Don't despise the stretching. Don't despise the stretching. I know it feels like you're being pulled beyond what you can handle, but stretching is necessary before strength is revealed. Muscles are torn before they grow. Soil is broken before the seed can rise. You're not breaking down, you're breaking open. You've been asking, when will things start to make sense? But I say to you, not everything must make sense before it bears fruit. Some things will only be understood in hindsight. That's why I ask you to walk by faith, not by explanations. You don't need to understand everything to move forward. You just need to trust the one who holds everything. There are places you've been avoiding because they remind you of past pain, but some of those places are exactly where I want to show you redemption. Don't run from the scenes of former sorrow. I am able to rewrite those locations with joy. I want to make those ashes beautiful. And yes, I know your heart still aches from people who left. You still wonder why they walked away just when you needed them most, but not everyone is meant to finish the journey with you. Some people were seasonal vessels, not permanent anchors. Their exit hurt, but their absence created room for stronger, truer, divinely assigned connections. Let me speak to your identity. You've started questioning your worth because you feel like you've failed too many times. But your identity is not shaped by your failures. I define you, and I never called you by your mistakes. I call you by your purpose. I see your mess, but I still call you chosen. I see your scars, but I still call you beautiful. You've been waiting for a sign that I'm still with you. But I say, your very survival is the sign. The fact that you're still standing, still believing, still reaching for me when everything around you screams otherwise. That is evidence that I'm holding you tighter than you know. You ask why the testing feels endless. It's because I'm removing every layer that would sabotage your future. Pride, insecurity, approval addiction, impatience, all these must be stripped away so the real you can emerge. The version of you that can steward the promise is being forged now in the fire of process. And yes, the fire hurts. But it's not meant to destroy you, it's meant to reveal what's eternal in you. The fire burns away what can't last, so only what's pure remains. You've cried for purity, and I'm answering, not by granting ease, but by allowing trials that purify. There are habits I've been nudging you to release, not because I'm harsh, but because I know they'll cost you more later than they cost you now. You think they're small compromises, but they're slowly weakening your spirit. Let them go. What I have for you is too precious to be contaminated. Your prayer life is being deepened. You may not feel it, but it's happening. When words don't come, I hear your silence. When your prayers feel dry, I still receive them as incense. Prayer isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just the groaning of a heart that refuses to let go of me. I am teaching you endurance, not survival, but endurance with purpose. I'm raising you into someone who won't crumble under pressure. Who can be trusted with storms? Who can intercede for others while still waiting on personal answers? This kind of strength can only be forged in waiting. There are divine appointments waiting for you, strategic moments where you will meet the right person, be in the right place, say the right thing. Nothing will be by chance. I'm orchestrating every detail behind the scenes, like a master composer preparing a symphony. And when that moment comes, you won't need to force anything. The door will open without you pushing. The favor will come without you manipulating. The opportunity will flow, and you will know it was not your doing. It was my hand. You don't need to brand yourself to be seen. You don't need to perform to be accepted. You don't need to climb over others to arrive. Rest in this truth. I open doors no one can shut, and I close doors no one can open. Promotion doesn't come from man, it comes from me. Let me deal with the injustice. I know who wronged you. I saw what was done behind closed doors. You don't have to carry the burden of revenge. I am your defender and I will settle every account. Keep your hands clean and your heart soft.